Hey guys, what's up? My name is Natasha Ghosh and I've had over 10 years of experience in playing the uke. In those 10 years I've learned a lot, but I've also made a lot of mistakes, and while I strongly believe that those mistakes are part of growth and development, I'm going to funnel all my learning lessons down so you won't have to make those mistakes. And not only will these tips help in the short term when you just started, but also when you want to make the jump from playing with chords to fingerstyle ukulele, these tips will come in very handy as well. This is what I would do if I were to pick up the ukulele today. So first of all, I want to ask you a question. Have you taken a good look at your instrument recently? Did anything stand out to you? When I started, the first thing I noticed was, the shape. It's like one wobbly thing, it's like the case which produces sound, and then you have the fretboard which is like a longish thing, and because of this shape I strongly recommend you to know how to hold it properly, because it will definitely avoid strain and awkwardness in the long term. Do keep in mind though that because this is a new instrument, it will definitely take some time for your body to adjust to the actual instrument, and that is partly because of the shape, and it's also because you're not used to holding the instrument. So I view the ukulele as an instrument with two parts: the case, which resonates all the sound, and the fretboard, where you play the note. So I'm going to share with you 3 support points that I always keep in mind when I play. The first support point is over here. This part I rest on my lap, so not this whole part but only this part, which enables me to hold the ukulele in a diagonal position, but I will dive into that in a minute. The second support point, and this is one that really gets overlooked often, is here. So you need that awkward shape of a case to be positioned and adjusted to your body properly. So how do I do this? I use this part of my arm, so not the place of my elbow, but this part. You don't need to have the tattoo. This part, and then I focus on this part, and then I press the case to my torso. Don't apply a lot of pressure, just do it very gently. It just stabilizes your instrument so much more. And the third support point I'm sharing with you today is here, because you don't want to play and then suddenly have the fretboard escaping your vision. That's not the vibe. So what do? I focus on this spot of my finger, so not exactly where the finger is attached to the rest of your hand, but right above that, and then the side, and then I support the fretboard like this, and I make sure to support it in a diagonal way. Because of the shape of the instrument, it gives me so much more control than if I would hold it horizontally, because if you hold it like this instead of holding it horizontally, you will avoid so much strain in the long term. Trust me, I have been in that position. So to summarize, 1, 2, 3. So once you got used to the instrument a little bit more by holding it properly, then go to the next step. The next step would be to focus on the fretboard. On the fretboard you have frets. So these vertical lines are frets. And these frets indicate where a note should be played, which is great because on a violin these frets are missing. So we are blessed. So we know where to play the notes. My next tip I'm going to share with you: when you start playing the ukulele, you don't have that layer of protective skin on your fingertips. So when you play a note, you want to make sure that you're not pressing too hard, because otherwise it will hurt. Even if you have nylon strings, it will hurt. So make sure that you're always playing right in front of the fret. So not on top, because if you play it on top, the note will sound very dull. And don't play too far in front of the fret, because then you will get this noise, which you would want to combat by pressing even harder. And what I just said in the beginning, you do not have that luxury of pressing hard. It can actually be very demotivating in the beginning. So my tip is play right in front of the fret. Not only will it ensure a full tone, but it will also prevent pain. And that is the last thing you're looking for when you're learning the ukulele. You can practice it with more frets. You can get accustomed to the fretboard. Don't be scared to play higher up. It's part of the instrument as well. So once you got used to the support points and you've applied the pressure, then you go to the third step, which is chords. So the chords that I recommend you to begin with is C major and A minor. So let me break these down. The C major is your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, like that. And again, play right in front of the fret. Then with your thumb, you're going to play all the strings. A little tip: make sure to give all the strings the same amount of love. And what do I mean by that? Make sure that you're applying the same amount of pressure on each string that you're playing. So don't play like this, but really play from top to bottom. It really helps to literally look at this spot while you're playing, because this will teach your muscle memory to play like that and not like that. And this will save you so much time in the long run, because you don't have to relearn it. So make sure to get it right from the very beginning. And the good thing with the C major is that you can test if you did it right, because if you hear this note, you know that you've played that string. If you hear only this, then you know something is wrong. So make sure to really get this sound. After that, I would go to the A minor, which is your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, so the top string. Then I would do the same thing with my thumb, gently stroke, give every string some love, and just get used to that chord. So C major, A minor. And the next step would be to alternate between those two chords. So between C major and A minor. So how to do that in the most effective, efficient way? The key here is to minimize something that I call the switching time. So the time it takes to switch from one position to the other. So it's better to do this, and then in the same rhythm, go to the next chord, and minimizing the switching time, then to do this. And then reposition and reposition. Because this teaches your body and this teaches your muscle memory the rhythmic sway that is very essential to playing this instrument. So do it very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can play with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And trust me on this, the speed will come at the end. I've learned that the hard way. So after you've watched this video, I don't see any reason to not start, honestly. If you have any questions regarding anything I said, then don't hesitate to drop a comment or drop your question. Every question is valid and there's no such thing as a stupid question. So good luck practicing, good luck playing, and I hope to see you soon in the next video.